pea microgreens are one of the most popular, and it doesn't matter if we speak of the home grower or a business. But among many types of microgreens, peas stand out in many ways, and growing it could be tricky. So in this video, I'm going to compare 3 different ways of growing pea microgreens, and I will emphasize the most important moments that can possibly ruin your experience with pea microgreens. So the difference between peas and other types of microgreen starts at the very beginning, because most microgreen seeds do not require soaking, and peas do. First of all, you need to measure the amount that you need for growing, and the best way to do it is to place them into a container in which you will be growing them. So it's the best way to see how many seeds do you actually need. And after that, you'll need to wash them until the water becomes rather clean. After your seeds are washed, pour around 1 liter of water and add 2 tablespoons of 3% hydrogen peroxide. After that, you just leave them to soak for 4 to 6 hours. I do not recommend to leave them longer than that, because then the seeds will start to choke. Unless you have an aquarium at home and you are familiar with aeration process and you have a special tools, then you can leave them overnight with this aeration tool placed into container and being on. So your seeds need to be aerated if you keep them in water longer than 6 hours, even with hydrogen peroxide. So after your seeds have been soaked, you need to drain them. But before you drain them, look at those floating seeds, because those are most likely not fertile. So remove them, and I'm using a regular tablespoon for that. Now you will need to drain them and leave them for around 30 minutes in a strainer, or spread them over paper towel and let them dry a bit. I know that it seems ridiculous because we soak them and now we drain them and let them dry, but trust me, it is necessary, because excessive moist can cause molding, and pea seeds are really prone to molding. So the first method is the most traditional one, and it's sowing seeds into soil. Even though most types of microgreens do not require using soil, and I rarely use it, with peas it can be beneficial. And if you want to know more, stick with me till the end of the video. I will explain how it works. So for this method, I'm repurposing an old plastic container, and it doesn't really matter what soil mix you will be using. I'm actually using the old potting soil that I used to grow annuals this summer. This soil has been already used once, but it really doesn't matter with peas, because peas are actually regenerative crops, and it can be grown on a really poor soil to improve it. So make sure that the soil is moist enough, but of course not excessively moist. Remember about molding. So evenly spread peas over soil and add another layer of soil around 1 centimeter or half of an inch. Moist the surface again and cover a container with a plastic bag or some other plastic container. So the second method is similar to hydroponics, even though in this case we're not using any additives. It's just a clean water. I use a special container that is designed specially for growing microgreens. It consists of 2 parts. The upper parts perforated in which you place the seeds, and the lower part in which you pour the water. And finally, the third way of growing microgreens. And I bet you never heard about this method. To grow pea microgreens this way, you would need some glass, or in my case, I repurpose the yogurt plastic container. And then you would need some plastic bags. I'm also reusing it all the time, many times. A few sheets of toilet paper. So evenly place the bag onto some surface, then place few sheets of toilet paper as shown in the video. Sprinkle them with water so it is moist enough. Spread the seeds, leaving a space between each seed and the edge around 1 centimeter, half of an inch. Then cover it with another layer of paper, sprinkle with water, and carefully roll it like you would roll a sushi. After that, place the roll into the glass, in which you should pour some water, but it really should be on the bottom of the glass. Not even half of the glass, just a small amount of water on the bottom. Whatever ways you chose to grow pea microgreens, the next step is placing them into a dark and warm place, such as your kitchen cupboard. I recommend checking your microgreens once in a while, maybe once a day, once in 2 days, adding some water if necessary, and letting your seeds to breathe a little bit, especially with the method of growing them in rolls. Let your seeds breathe for maybe 30 minutes or so, and then cover them again and place them into a cupboard. By the way, with the second method, it's fun to observe how your microgreens actually grow, and you will see the signs of growth on the second day after you sow them. After 4, maybe 5 days, it's time to place your microgreens under the grow lights. Or if you grow them under natural light, place them there. Always check if water is enough in containers, and also if you choose the method with soil, if the soil surface is moist. And with the second method, it's good to completely change the water from time to time. And after 10 days, microgreen and plastic rolls are ready to use. Usually we start eating them when the shoot is around 10 centimeter or 4 inches long. Now, if you didn't know, peas are one of the rare types of microgreens that can regrow. Usually they do not regrow, but peas do. So if you want to regrow them, pay attention how you cut them. It should be right above the growth point. If you cut them lower than that, they won't regrow. If you're really planning to regrow them, I recommend choosing the first method of growing them in soil. In that case, you will be able to regrow them up to 3 times. I must say that all 3 ways of growing microgreens showed good results. Each of the methods has its own benefits. And for example, also this method with soil is a little bit slower than others. It allows you to regrow your microgreens a few times, and it is important if you are using some expensive seed like some sugar snap or white peas. Also, you can use some old bed soil for this method, regenerate it, and give it back to some of your houseplants. And second method is really fun. With this method, you can educate your kids on how actually everything grows. And it was almost as fast as the third method, the plastic rolls method. It showed the strongest growth. It grew quicker than others. And if you want to save space, if you have a little space, definitely look into this method. With last two methods, it's not guaranteed that the seeds would regrow after you cut them. Once again, if you are using expensive seeds, maybe you should look into traditional method with soil. And if you are curious what seeds did I use and why, you should watch the next video in which I give tips on how actually you should choose seeds to grow microgreens. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to like. See you again on my channel.